cost of buying one, using one, as against other means, that would be fine, yeah.
Okay, so you're down with that? Yeah.
Can I just ask, it hasn't cost us £1,000 this demonstration, has it?
No, it's a free demonstration today, and that lasted only half an hour. It was very good, but to go back to your two questions there, to purchase a large machine that goes on the back of a van, which we're not looking to do, because we're looking for solutions for smaller areas, and that can be carried basically either on your back or like that. Those type of machines are about £1,000 each, from a company in Finland, I think. The bigger machine that we saw today, that's really to do, massive areas of pavements and things, that's about £25,000, because it has a generator in it, all sorts of other pumps and things, and this foam method that we don't think we need. So that's quite costly. That's why I've come back today and said I'm amending, my sort of proposals, because we even think there's even cheaper solutions, because all that it is boiling water does affect the plants and make them wilt, and they eventually die off. And you don't need training to deal with boiling water. If you're using glyphosate, you do. Glyphosate is carcinogenic. It's quite costly as well compared to boiling water. So, and we don't have, you quite rightly said, we don't have huge spaces to do like Durham County does. So it's a good opportunity to look at it anyway.
Can I just ask again, these machines on your back, obviously the spray this hot water, can that be used for other things like sanitising and playground equipment? So we can kill two birds with one stone, apart from two plants with ones?
Yeah, two or three operations we can do with them. So you're quite right, hygiene's one, cleaning whatever kids have left on the play park overnight, just general cleaning. There's a whole range, cleaning tools as well. That's very good. So you're right, there's a lot more to it than what I'd put in here originally, because I didn't know that much. I just knew that councillors had expressed the desire to go down this route of getting rid of the chemicals that we use. But there's a bigger challenge ahead. We're just looking at hard surfaces at the moment. The bigger challenge is what do we do with sports pitches like bowling greens that use up loads of different types of chemicals. So that's something for the future, but I'm sure because there's the desire out there by the public, there'll be organic solutions that they'll have sort of marketed in the future that they can use.
Can I ask Paul, the use of hot water rather than the glyphosate, does that last as long as the glyphosate, or maybe we run every so often and cost more in manpower? Or?
Well, it's open for trial, really. The glyphosate itself is a contact herbicide which touches the leaves and goes down to the roots. The residual is slightly different to that, because that will stay in the ground, and that basically ends up poisoning all sorts of things. Whereas the boiling water, it hits the leaves, damages the leaves, and it can run through and down into the roots on the outside of the plant.
Right.
Just because the water will find its easiest route down. So it may need more applications than glyphosate, but the guy said today, in front of the rest of the staff, you normally have 3 applications of glyphosate anyway, and they're recommending 3 applications of this for water as well. So pros and cons, and we haven't got all the answers at the moment.
Okay, everybody okay with that? No? Yeah. Right, item 5, Gordon Play Park. Officers are requesting the approval of the source ports that have the playground equipment at Gordon Park repainted. Previous permission was given to repaint all of the other play areas the town council are responsible for, and this has enhanced the play areas, volleyball senior would be the ones that. So, everybody okay with approving this?
Yeah.
Anybody have anything to say on it?
Great.
Yeah, good. Item 6, Inside Park. Pursuant to a previous meeting, members approved the replacement of seating at Inside Park. Attached to Appendix A are photographs of 3 of the replacement seats which do look great. The Town Council is currently awaiting delivery and installation of a 4th seat. It is hoped that more can be purchased in the future, so all the old ones are replaced and further improvements in the park are progressing, such as removing overgrown formians and other landscape improvements. Anything everyone to say on this regarding the chair? Has anybody been down to see them?
Yeah, lovely.
Councillor Bell?
Very good, and I've had a lot of people commenting how lovely they look, so.
Great.
As long as they're left alone, that's the main thing,
Yeah.
like, isn't it? That's the big problem.
Yeah. Okay, so the items for information purposes only, using information. Item 7, review and proposals for seeing fireworks display 2022. Attached to Appendix B is a report of the Acton Town Clerk regarding the review and proposals for the 2022 fireworks display.
Yeah, so hopefully members will have had a chance to read the report there, but basically we had far too many people attending our event this year, possibly just down to COVID and the fact that other events didn't happen. But I basically got asked to meet with the police about it and various other bodies to look at how we can restrict the amount of people that would come the following year. So some of their keen ideas is to have it as a ticketed event, and I've explained in this report that it could be free, it could be £1, it could be nominal, it could be a bit more for people outside of the town. And we don't expect to have 100% barrier around the spectator area and prevent everybody that would try to get in. It's just really a bit of a message that we would send to the other towns to make sure that we don't get too many people attending, basically. So it's not that we're really causing blanket ban on people coming. It's just putting the message out there that we've only got so much space, and if you're living quite a distance away, it's probably better that you don't come. That's the general message we will put out. As I say, you could charge, and around the Asda front area and down the marina, we could charge for people getting in there. There's all sorts of other initiatives we could do. We could promote the fact that most of the residents in Seaham could actually walk to the event rather than take the cars. We've got ideas of doing a park and ride at Spectrum Park and maybe other places. The Spectrum Park area, currently as it stands, the bus would only get stuck in traffic if we did that, but we've got a route that the bus could take separate to the main road, which is through the Dock Company car area, through the tunnel there, and then back up to the Dock Top car park opposite Costa Coffee. So that's an alternative that we're looking at, and then people would pay maybe £2 to get on that bus to get down there, and again we would promote that you could park there and walk down to the fireworks as well. Similarly, you could do the same at the northern end of the town with land that's there, whether it's owned by Durham County Council or a private landlord. We could rent out land and do a similar thing, but you wouldn't have the access through the dock at the northern end.
Can I just say, there's a lot of information there, things we could possibly do to make things better than they were in terms of crowd control. But there's no actual proposal, shall we do this, that or the other. Can I suggest that we actually have a working party, because it's fairly early in the year, to go through all of the issues and come to some agreement about how we can proceed? Because I think it would be a real shame if the people who live in Seaham don't get to see what we're paying for them. And I appreciate people come from outside, but I think our first loyalties are to the people who live here. So I think we do need to give it a lot more discussion to work out how we're going to achieve that and the operational issues associated with that. But I still think we've got time to talk about it because it's very early in the year to do that.
Yeah.
So can we get a working party together for that?
Well, I think naturally we've sort of gone towards that by, we've got a safety advisory group meeting on, I think it's around the 8th of March. I think it's around early March. We've got a meeting and we've already invited the chair of Parks and Events and the vice chair to that meeting, because it'll be a tabletop exercise with the police and an events safety expert to look at all the scenarios. If we put them into place, how would that work? So if you're okay with that, myself.
Because it was getting a working party together before that to discuss what we think before me and Leanne went to that meeting.
What's the date of that meeting?
8th of March, I think it is.
Yeah.
Well, I would say yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anybody interested in being part of that working party? Yeah.
So,
Because
Put my
deputy
name
chair
down.
can move on. Kevin?
and you've already got the chair and vice chair. So is that enough?
Yeah.
My view would be open the meeting to any of the elected members who are here, if they're able to come.
Yeah.
Okay, right. We've got item 8.
Okay. Item 8, Queen's Platinum Jubilee 2022. There is a working party organised the 8th of February 2022 following the Twin Committee meeting. However, in preparation